moving on to receive the petitions and or correspondence from the public. Do we have anyone signed up in this area?
We do. The first speaker is Ms. Kolesnik.
Okay, please approach and come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and keep comments to 3 minutes or less, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ina Kolasnik. I'm business owner at 214 East Main Street, Nicole Jewelry Designs. My husband bought this building in 1996 and we opened store 2002. And since we've been running the store, but since my husband passed away last year, I'm trying to run the store alone. And with this, I have to fight my neighbor who built a fence behind the building, blocked the access to the utilities and the rear entrance, compromising the safety of my daughter and myself. And today I came to speak not about my safety. I came to speak about future development of the town because I have concern for this. Although I feel like I've been bullied by Mr. Downs, along with Mr. Waller and Mrs. Davis, member of Planning Commission. I want to bring to your attention that Virginia Bee Museum Trust been violating town code for more than 1 year. They've been using back yard of building 14 and 16 Chester Street for outdoor patio, while it wasn't approved by Virginia Board of ABC Board. And here's document. You can see there is no designated area for outdoor, and this is violation of Chapter 46 of Town Code. And the town later, this area was approved by ABC office of April 2018, but between this period, it wasn't. So I believe it was violation and it should be addressed. And I don't know how town code addresses the violations, but I believe violations should not be rewarded with amendment of town code. And I'm talking about approving off-street parking for between Laura Virginia Hall Place and East Main Street. Here you are. This is all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Mr. Waller.
My name is Ralph Waller, and I live at 304 East Main Street. I'm a Vietnam veteran who served in the 4th Infantry Division from August of '67 to August of 1968. I received an honorable discharge. I've been living in Front Royal since 1991 to present. I would like to thank the Planning Commission, Town Manager, Planning and Zoning for their help and a number of questions that we have asked. The Planning Commission is made up of highly qualified professionals who have a vision for the future of the town. They unanimously decided against off-street parking. Mr. Downs was trying to bully them with help of other supporters by posting negative comments on Facebook about members of the Planning Commission. Mrs. Davis, Mr. Downs also made a negative post about me and Mrs. Kolesnik. It seems Mr. Downs likes to bully women when he wouldn't let Sharon Brown in takes to park in the back lot. Mr. Downs posted negative Facebook post depicting Main Street employees with illegal activities of selling to felons unregistered guns and aiding people who use drugs. This is just another example of Mr. Downs' bullying tactics that he is using. He also implied that all the people who come to the pawn shop are either criminals or drug addicts or fencing stolen merchandise. In 24 years, I've never had to go to court to testify because anytime we take stolen merchandise in, we lose it. And I've never sold an unregistered gun, and that's a little bit disturbing. And I've got these posts I would like to hand you, pass around, to see the negative comments that have been going around about us.
Give them to the clerk of council, please, Ron. Thank you.
All right.
She'll make sure we all get a copy.
Okay. Well, I'd like for you to read them because I think, it shows just the character of the individual that's making these posts. I mean, he tries to say that he's a honest uptown guy in town, but he's not. And what he is a nonprofit guy that's running a beer joint. And that's the basic gist of this. So you can give him off, you can award him and give him off-street parking if you want to, but I don't think you should. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amber Morris. Amber Morris, 3574 Houseville Road. I'm here to address arising concerns of the downtown parking issues. I realize by speaking my opinion here tonight, I am placing a target on myself for bullying by opposing merchants. It would be most beneficial for our town as a whole to come to a mutual understanding for the greater good of downtown Front Royal. Without giving concessions directly to an individual organization, compromise is the best and cheapest lawyer. I hope the media tonight will quote me correctly, as they did not quote the commission members correctly in recent news. The commission is made up of competent and literate professionals who volunteer to serve the community, and I encourage those dissatisfied to volunteer to serve. I know I'm speaking to the council on this issue tonight prematurely to some. However, I feel the public needs to address their concerns to each of you prior to the work session, where we can't add any commentary and you can only speak if questioned. So I think parking should be addressed as a whole, and that's my point tonight. I don't think we should address parking to tailor individual businesses or organizations. I think downtown Front Royal is beautiful. I was born and raised here. I love walking Main Street. I love supporting the merchants down there. But the parking issue is entirely, I mean, this goes for some of the comments that have been brought up about Family Fun Day, the Beer Museum. There's plenty of residents that live on Main Street and Chester Street. And instead of piecing something together piece by piece, now that it's been handed over to you from the commission, I think that this is the perfect opportunity to look at parking as a whole and address the entire issue. And I think this is a great opportunity to bring the businesses to downtown and to help it thrive. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Marilyn King.
Hi, my name is Marilyn King, 2676 Guard Hill Road in Front Royal, Virginia. I did not know anything about this beer museum or the parking. I had no knowledge of any of it until last week when I saw some Facebook posts that had been shown to me by Amber, which were not good. I mean, so anyway, the reason I'm here is because I was asked to come. I wanted, to see what was going on with this. But first off, I want to say, like I said, I had no idea what was going on. And I don't understand why the beer museum would close off parking spaces in the back of the museum and then ask for parking on the street to be designated specifically to them. And if they're asking for 2 or 3 parking spaces on the street on Chester Street, I understand that if they are designated to them and someone else parks there that's not going to go into the beer museum or parks there for any other purpose, that they can be ticketed or they can be towed if it's designated to the beer museum. So I don't understand why the beer museum would not open up part of that back space to let this young lady be able to access her property and also to be able to park a few cars. It wouldn't take that much of their space away if they would just open up a little bit of it and then give her back her access to her property. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the last speaker, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.